Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the, what is this, bonus rounds of the 4.5 Newbie Rumble. We've finished up everything we were going to do, but we had an extra blueprint that didn't make it in, and we have a 400,000 adventure craft, so let's see if we can have some fun with those. I'm thinking, what's a fair one to test it against? I like the Baneling because it's got solid armor, a mix of shells and missiles, and it's got a decent amount of decoys. So let's run the Baneling against the, what was it called? Virgo class frigate Type C. I'm not sure who made it yet, I just grabbed it, so we'll check as soon as we load the game in. That's definitely the Baneling. Let's see what the Virgo is. Ah, let's get barrels. Ooh, very nice. Let's see, this was made by Tony Danger Mouse. Is that what they had on Discord? Let's check. They had... got the wrong thing open. Never gonna be able to find it now. Yeah, Tony Danger Mouse. Cool. So this is their ship, very nice. We have, what is that? 2 Seawiz guns on the back. We have some rear cram turrets, front Seawiz, more crams, very nice. Are those up props? Up Daddy Blades. Very nice. I've been meaning to have a go with Daddy Blades myself, but I haven't gotten around to it. We've got our more Daddy Blade, we've got plenty of active roll control, so it should be active pitch control, so it should be pretty quick. Where's, that's not pitch, that's your control. What am I talking about? We have munition warners, we have some cameras, not many other pieces of detection equipment that I can see though. Let's check that. Ah, is it all stacked? I'm not sure. That looks like it's all mimicked, so maybe there's a lot of stuff and it's just hidden away. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Very nice that it's got some stairs on it. How are we steering? A couple of rudders, plenty of up props. Yeah, gonna be interesting to see what this thing can do. Let's see who wins. Ah, that one's smaller than it looks. Virgo's Seawiz starting strong. Seems like it might have some accuracy issues, but the cram cannons are doing well. Is the front cannons damaged? It might have shot itself out. Always a risk. How's our rear cannon doing? Just come into range. How's our rear Seawiz doing? Still functioning. Now, what's with these firing restrictions? Guess we're not in broadsiding range yet. It's nice and quick. Ooh. Was that the Seawiz taking those out? Very nice. I'm guessing they're pure HE then. Pure HE crams used to be the way to go, but they're pretty easy to take out now. And either way, a huge explosion on the surface of a ship is generally not as good as a small one inside of it. I think that's usually the logic with APHE shells, but APHE shells are lame, and solid body HE crabs are much cooler. Fact of life. Ooh, we got a shot across, but it didn't make it. Tough ship though, it's taking a lot of hits. Oh, we might be having some accuracy issues, but that is a solid hit on the EMP missiles. Ooh, maybe we are having accuracy issues. Is every detection stacked on the top there? Maybe there's some active sonar down beneath the ship, but I haven't seen it. Turret's dropping out again. Has this middle turret come back online? It has not. I wonder what the Seawiz is designed for. Because it seems like it's using kinetics to shoot down. I wonder if setting your crams to fire on a slight offset would help. Because the explosion from one cram might be taking out the other. Whoa. Now that's dramatic. Is that a Deady Blade hit? It was right where the Deady Blades go, so it might be taken out, and that might explain floating slightly lower, but you've got the up props. Nearly. I want to see one solid hit. That's what I'm waiting for. The Baneling is, The Virgo's using more materials, but probably because it's got a repair. Ah, there you go. You almost managed to slip him through. And the big gun doesn't seem to have lost many parts. Ooh, that's fine. A near thing, but not quite. This is pretty cool to watch. The Baneling's Seawiz has maybe struggled a little bit, but it's amazing to see how effective it is. Especially for Flak. I wouldn't think that Flak would do much as Seawiz. I always thought the 20 AP would make it unviable, but it seems to do really well against small projectiles and what I'm guessing are pure HE crams. If you want a cram to explode on a surface, my choice would be Frag for the slightly higher AP. But then again, you get success with HE. I mean, it's a cram. You can never have too much of a good thing, right? If you shoot a big enough shell, you will eventually get results. How are we doing on armor? Because the Type C Virgo is... it's absorbing a lot of shells, and it's lost a lot of parts, but it doesn't seem to care that much. Ooh, is that the rear gun? It seems happy enough. Here's another sneaky trick for you. Put the firing piece at the back of the turret and run the motor barrels inside the shell, and then you can have the hardened heavy barrels on the outside, and your barrels are less likely to get clipped off. You can do the same thing with APS actually. Run the firing piece from the very back of the turret, and that way you'll have some barrels inside. Has that turret been knocked out? Maybe it's lost most of its loaders. Well, if the guns are down, I'm gonna have to speed this one up in post. Alright, we've got a minute and a half left, so doesn't look like anything's gonna happen. I'll run through the closing thoughts. It looks like the Virgo is a pretty solid ship. It's got an interesting mix of up props and the internal Deady Blades. I'm curious what the logic was there, because we've got a lot of up props running this thing. I'm wondering why the Deady Blades were included. Because you have so many up props, surely the internal volume, you could have just spent it on more engines. Maybe the Dedi blades are like an emergency thing for if you run out of engine power, but with this many up props, is every single one being used? It looks like they're not firing most of the time, not compared to these props, at least. So I'm wondering if it is using all of its engine. I didn't see much of an engine in it either. So maybe it's running some kind of compact steam system? Anyway, pretty solid. I think it would have had an easy time dealing with anything that didn't have sealers. It would have definitely beaten the barge, definitely beaten the Minotaur. Probably would have had a good shot against the Water Strider, simply based on weapon type. But could it beat the Moonholder? Probably not. I just tried a Cram ship against it, and Cram struggled to catch it. So, a solid design. It would have placed pretty highly if you'd entered it. Here's how it performs against the Baneling. Hopefully you've been able to pick up some of the weaknesses in it, and it'll come back even stronger in the next Newbie Rumble. Actually, we'll check one more thing. How much were you paying for it? Because if it's got some budget left to spend, then 134, yeah, that's really good then. You could really easily stick some missiles on it, stick an APS gun somewhere, stick some active defense. You could easily get this thing up to be pretty solid. I can't wait to see what it ultimately ends up being. And did it lose its paint job? That's disappointing. I hope it wasn't, maybe it was in fleet colors. It's a shame that front gun got knocked out so quickly too. Maybe that was the key to everything. Hard to tell. Anyway, well fought. Let's go on to the next dumb thing we're gonna do. Team 2. We're dropping the Virgo. We want the Adventure Craft. Let's see. You did pretty well, Moonholder, but can you beat something twice your cost? Introducing the Adventure Craft, made by Sunny Lemonade. It's got some interesting guns. I can't remember what they were built as. They were some kind of interesting hybrid shell. A metric fuckton of simple weapons. And it comes in at 400,000, I believe. Only 300,000 if you pull the RTGs out. So you could consider it a 300,000 ship for the purposes of a tournament, because you probably wouldn't want RTGs outside of maybe a really weird niche situation. But here you are, Moonholder, your ultimate test. How will it do? Simple weapons, opening strong. Absolutely pounding the Moonholder. It's not a lot of damage per hit, but it's stacking up quickly. Look at that front ram just melt. It's raining blocks. How's the Adventure Craft doing? Oh boy. That's a lot of hits, but I don't know what good those hits are going to do, because this thing is a tank. You can blow through as much superstructure as you want. Oh, are the front guns out? Or is the Adventure Craft spinning around? There we go. Solid hits again, but if there's one thing Sunny knows how to build, it's armor. That is not going to be enough to hit an internal in one volley. Hit anything internal in one volley. Ah, that gun's taken out. How's the Moonholder doing? The front ram is through. But the heavy armor inside, I think that's heavy armor, is holding. The jet's taken damage? Somehow no. Fragments everywhere, blocks falling off everywhere, but it's holding together for now. Can't help but wonder how fast this thing goes when it starts losing parts. Because that jet engine really throws it around. Last, there's no vehicle chair, and I don't feel like having to restart the recording if Rambot gets hit, so we may never know. Absolutely brutal. One weakness of the Moonholder is, once you get within range, it just runs backwards in a straight line. It's only when it's flicking in and out of its combat range that it starts to do those crazy dodges. So if you're faster than it, it loses its ability to duck and weave, and you'll have a much easier time hitting it with crams and APS and anything you want to throw at it. Has it lost a... was there an up prop on there? Yes, so it's lost a bit of roll stability. Incredibly, the Moonholder is actually winning on HP. Ooh. The Moonholder's got more than double the materials left too. That would be incredible if it had a materials victory. Starting to lose parts pretty quickly now though. Have we gone through to internals? Largely, yes. Are we starting to lose missile launchers? We are. Only in the front though. There's that big block of padding still to go. Will it make a difference? And how's the Adventure Craft doing? Front guns are happy? Ooh. Starting to take some hits, especially to the steam engines and RTGs. Those are an expensive thing to lose, but the sheer bulk of it is still more than happy to fire away. Simple weapons, couldn't care less. I'm not sure what these were set up as, but they're not firing, so probably not that important. Ooh. More and more armor and RTGs just peeling away. The Moonholder's starting to take hits now. Oh, the ram's been cut off. That is not what you want. Those hits are really starting to bore in deep now, and the Moonholder is almost completely out of control. Unfortunately, it seems like the Adventure Craft has been reduced to just a few guns. Has the Moonholder lost its ACBs? I think it's lost the ACB that controls its jet engines. which would mean it's stuck closing. That might be fatal for it. As it closes in, those... Oh no, still alive. The torpedo interceptors are great, aren't they? Overreacting, maybe just a little bit. And with no active sonar, they're never gonna get those missiles. Oh, is that a sealer's system? AI is still intact. Only 3% between the two. That's an ammo detonation for the Adventure Craft. Down to 65%. That probably means the Moonholder takes it. And that's it. Calling it in favor of the Moonholder. Congratulations. And how about one more just for fun? And just to see if my computer can handle it. Let's see what the entire Sunny Fleet can do. Yeah, this will be fine. What do you reckon? Do they have a chance? we have the Scepter. We've got torpedoes, guns, plenty of guns. We have the Minotaur, plenty of guns, missiles. We have the Barge, plenty of guns. Let's see how they do. Opening volley hitting the Barge, but it lives. Good to see it surviving better than it did in its fight against the Water Strider. It might get quite far through this one. Once again. Oh, is that an AI kill? No way. Surely not. The Barge is slain. Who's next on the chopping block? Looks like it's the Minotaur, by far the cheapest and the weakest. Well, there goes the torpedoes. And a much less significant hit. We'll see how long it lasts. I should mention that this is actually a disadvantageous matchup for the Moonholder. It was designed with effectively no Hesh protection on its side armor. So if it's pointing at the Scepter right now, then the Minotaur will be firing Hesh straight into its engines. We might hop over and take a look. Absolutely torn apart. Certainly a much harder matchup for it, but jeez. Barely even qualifies as a boat anymore. It's transformed into a hovercraft. And still getting slammed. The weak armor on the sides definitely costing it, but the guns, the missiles are still firing. Can it take the Minotaur with it? Well, definitely not without detections, off by miles. Will the missiles make it in? No chance. The crazy thing is that that front armor is still holding. Everything else has been torn to pieces, but the front armor, still good. You can see the insane investment in surge protectors there. No detectors on sub-objects, so we definitely didn't want any EMP hits getting through. And the Moonholder is slain. Congratulations, Sunny's fleet. You were large enough and powerful enough to slay the Minotaur, where the Adventure Craft could not. Just goes to show what happens when you build for tournaments instead of building for the adventure mode. Much less wood in these. Anyway, I hope that was fun to watch. That'll be it for the 4.5 Newbie Rumble. I may or may not be hosting the next one. There may or may not be a next one. But if there is, I'll probably see you, because I've got some designs I want to try out later. Let's get the video off and the audio off.